My story is quite unique in the sense that I was a sergeant. I was a SWAT negotiator. I worked detailed out to counterterrorism. I took care of the Pope. I took care of the Army-Navy gang. I wore a radiation detection unit. I was a sergeant in charge of the warrant unit. I was internal affairs. I had things in every avenue, and it really worked for me. Can I turn this down a little bit? Because I can't see. I don't want to block my face. I'm beautiful. I can't do that. So I had dipped into everything in my life, and I was a single parent of 4 kids for 9 years. So, and I ran all the department things. I ran everything that I could possibly run. And I pretty much ran for my life doing both things, running for 4 different events to kids, 4 different schools, 4 or 5 different avenues at work. I worked 3 a.m. to 3 p.m. whenever I ended. And then I'd go right to the bus stop and grab the kids and go right back to the house. And it's tough being a single parent because now you got to multitask and you got to ask for help. So I started drinking. And I was a functioning alcoholic. I wouldn't even get my uniform off. I would already crack open a beer, and I'd sit, and then I'd go pick up the kids. You know, I'd only have one, and then I'd get back, and then I'd crack open 2, crack open 3, crack open 4, crack open 5, wake up at 3 a.m. again, and start the day all over again. Well, I was a functioning alcoholic. It was only natural light, so I just pawned it off as, hey, I'm still doing my job. I'm paying my bills. I'm taking care of the kids. It doesn't matter. All right. So now it started getting worse and started dictating me. I was a guy that worked 25 years on the force. I worked my way up to sergeant, and all of a sudden, alcohol started ruling my life. It was only natural light. It didn't matter. So I'd stick out, and everybody has a routine where they get coffee. Well, I started to have a routine where I'd get a beer, crack it open, sit on the couch, and watch the news at 6 a.m. That's normal, right? It's my day off. I sicked out. It's fine. It's just my eczema. So anyway, it started to rule me. I started to hide. And with addiction, you start to hide. So one day I get so hammered that I get in my patrol car and I drive down the street and I hit a curb. And to this day, I can laugh about it because I told my dad if I had 2 more spares in the car, I could have made it home. So, and I laugh about it now, but I could have hurt someone. And my addiction took over my life. So unfortunately, I had that problem where I hit the curb and I'm in a patrol car. They didn't know what to do with me. They knew I just had a blood clot issue, so they didn't know if it was that. But the guys in my department knew I had a problem, but they didn't want to take care of it. They didn't want to mention it to anybody because I was their sergeant. So I took the initiative to come down to transformations on my own. I said I needed help. And I came down here, and I had a blast. I had the most fun. At first, I was like scared. I didn't know what to do. I walked into the program, and I'm like, okay, I'm here to get fixed. I'm here to get fixed. And everyone's like, you need to relax. You need to go out to the beach. You need to go bowling. And I'm like, I'm not here to have fun. I just left my 4 kids at home. I'm probably going to lose my job when I get back. I just want to get fixed and get out of here. So I start sitting in my room, and one of the techs walks in, and it's a Saturday morning. We're going to the beach. I say, I'm not here to have fun. Well, you're here to learn how to do things without alcohol. Oh, I never got the memo on that. So I went to the beach, and I went bowling, and I went to the movies, and I talked during the whole time. Jake will tell you. I wouldn't shut up. They tried to get me a muzzle. That's all right. So I learned a lot from transformations on how to separate it. So at 76 days sober, I relapsed. I lost 2 days of my life. I drank a 30-pack in 2 days. I lost my job, my kids, my 3 kids. My oldest kid lives with me. My younger 3 live with my ex-wife. He sees his brother and sisters every once in a while. I took it hard. It's not an excuse. So the tools that I learned in transformation were separate everything. Just because you're having a problem, you stub your toe, doesn't mean you have a can of beer. So I decided that if I was going to try it one more time, I'm going back down to transformations to get help. Well, I fought, and I fought. And I'm a year and a half sober now. And it's an amazing thing because once I figured out what the solution was to the problem, I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. And that was hard for me. How long had I been walking around with it? 25 years on the force. No wonder I was crazy. Everybody still thinks I'm crazy now, but that's all right. And then, like, the therapist lady says, you're bipolar 2. You're not going to tell me that. I want to be bipolar 1. Yeah, that's a better one. So we had to fight about that. She said that could be the PTSD too. So, yeah, to make a long story short, like, my stay here, well, I don't make a long story short ever, do I, Troy? If you guys want comedy on the online meetings, please log in. Troy loves it all the time. He tells me. Chris is laughing in the background. He likes it too. And the underwear pic. Yeah, it's good to watch. Yeah, you got to go online. Go on the online meetings. It's a way to connect. I live all the way up outside Philly. So I get to see the faces that really I went to hell with and came out alive. And I was fortunate enough that when I relapsed, I fought it off. And there's not many people out there that relapse and don't fight it off. And I'm never going to say I beat the disease. You know, I'm coming on the plane down here from Philly, and I hate the friggin' planes, you know, and the plane's all rocking. I'm like, we're going to die. And he's getting all pissed off at me because he's like, I got to work all day. And then the wine cart walks by. I'm like, yeah. So that urge is still going to be there. It really is. And yeah, so I asked the girl next to me to get one. And then I sniffed a cup. No, I'm just kidding. But I had caused such a scene on this plane with him, I had a whole row to myself. Yeah, I was like, Loki, go ahead over there. They're getting hair all over them. And he's a big dog, so they gave me a whole row to myself. Yeah, that wasn't good. You can't lay down. They tell you can't lay down. You got to put on a seatbelt. Like a seatbelt's going to do anything good when you die. Okay, well, at least I had my seatbelt on. Yeah, we crashed. Oh, he had his seatbelt on. That's good. He's floating now. Because the plane goes over the ocean. Yeah, who knew that? They put it on a little camera, like where you're at. We're over an ocean. Shut the window. Yeah, that's what you got to do. But am I done? Oh, he's got the yellow card out. The red card's coming yet. I don't play soccer, so I don't know what he's talking about. But addiction doesn't have to be bad news all the time. You can have fun. You really can. And I had a great time down here. I had great times at the barbecues. I learned how to do things without alcohol. And that's important to me because I went back to the basics. And when I got out, I had the tools to make sure that I didn't relapse and get into that hole again. And my kids see it, and I'm still struggling with the other 3. But my oldest sees it. And, you know, I know there's some times where he just walks up to me and to see if I was drinking because that's a learned behavior. He's 17 now. You know, I embarrassed the shit out of him. I can't say that word. I embarrassed him. You know, he's 15 years old. He's a freshman going into a sophomore year, and his dad's a drunk, and he goes down to rehab. And we got back, and I'll tell this story, and Troy knows it. We get back, and I take him out of the school that my ex-wife put him in and put him back in his school. And we go to the guidance counselor's office, and I'm like, yeah, I'm built like a brick shit house. And I'm like, yeah, you know, and I was lifting all the time, drinking Jake Shakes, and he puts kale in them, if you want to know that. Kale. I don't know what the hell that is, but it's good. So we go into the guidance office, and we go in, and we sit down, and we're picking out classes that he's going to take for the year. And the guidance counselor says, so Dylan, you were out of here for 2 years, and you came back. So did anything happen in your life? I sit back, and it's time for me to talk. I go, yeah, there's nothing that happened. Yeah, there's nothing that happened. I said, his dad's an alcoholic. The lady sat back in her chair. She goes, who's his dad? And I thought he'd be embarrassed, but I think he just wanted to say it, but he didn't want to embarrass me. And it's not an embarrassment. I take it as a badge of honor now. I beat it, and I'm still going to fight it every day. And I carry coin in my pocket, Rise Up Warrior. I don't carry the AA coin. I don't carry that because that's a badge of honor. Rise up, warrior, because every day you have to rise up because there's always going to be that urge. And I think it's imperative that you guys know that because and our special responders, our military guys, you're warriors. And you got to think of this disease as a warrior because if not, you're going to lose. With that, have a good night, guys.